Well, hello everybody and welcome back. Now the other day I noticed that my tumbler wasn't running quite the way that it used to. It seemed to be catching when it was spinning and it just didn't seem to be running as quickly as I had remembered. Now this has happened before and it's usually a really easy fix, so I figured I would show you how to fix your tumbler if you ever notice that the barrels aren't spinning as well or you're noticing a catch in the barrels. If you like this kind of content, make sure you give this video a big old thumbs up, and if you're new here, consider subscribing to this channel. I make new videos like this every single week, so let's get started. So as you can see here, my Loratone tumbler has seen some better days. We've got some barrel wear off here on our rods. This is getting a little bit rusty, or at least dirty. I also had, if you can see in there, a spill when one of my barrels leaked. And you can also see kind of like some other debris just underneath my tumbler. So what we're gonna do is take some time here and clean her up. We're gonna get these wheels spinning again and also show you another problem that my tumbler is having when sorry, I have to put the light down, kind of in a difficult spot in my basement. But when I put my tumbler barrels here onto my tumbler and we plug it in, you can see as the barrels are turning that they're kind of struggling a little bit here. They're not going as fast as they should, and you can kind of see them catch like this. So that is something that we need to fix on the inside of the tumbler, and I will show you how to do that as well. Sometimes you can also put these tumbler barrels on and it will not move at all, and I can show you how to fix that too. So first, of course, it's important to unplug. We'll take these back off. And the first step we're gonna wanna do is unscrew, see if I can do this with one hand, our little bolt here, or excuse me, our screw. Here's that. You can see it's gonna need some cleaning as well. Now this cover just comes right off like this. Ooh, and you can kind of already start to see what the problem is here. So all of this stuff here is bits of this rubber wheel, I believe, that is wearing off. So this needs to be tight in order for the barrels to spin well. So what we're gonna have to do is go through and tighten this back up and then also kind of clean it out a little bit. So you will need some tools for this project. We'll need a screwdriver, this thing that I can't think of the name of right now, some WD-40, and then you might also want some rags, maybe a toothbrush, things like that to help you clean your tumbler barrel. I also cleaned some of the parts in the sink with some dish soap as well. Okay, so I have moved the tumbler onto this plastic bag here, and we're gonna go through and work on the parts. I just wanted to show you the Loratone tumbler booklet here does show you how to remove the different parts of our tumbler and how to clean it. So we have our oil shaft bearings, which are these here. We have the motor top cover, which is this. This was the screw that I didn't want to lose. So as you can see here, we can slide the motor to adjust the belt tension using these motor mounting nuts. Now, if you look on the side, here are our nuts that we can adjust. So what we're gonna work on here is tightening up our drive belt. And like it says in here, it's important that this is not too loose, which will cause the barrels to slip and not tumble properly, and not too tight, which will cause the belt to stretch and it can break. It can also be really bad for the motor. So as you can see in here, we do have some cleaning to do before we do that. This black stuff, I believe, is just the rubber from the belt that has worn off. Now here are the bolts that we're going to be working on tightening here. I'm not really sure what this kind of yellow spray stuff is on the outside of the barrel here. This was given to me as a gift, so I'm not sure if this is how it came or if it's something that I did, but we'll see if we can get that off too and get it all cleaned up and looking brand new. Okay, so looking at this closer, I'm thinking that we are gonna need a new belt here. As you can see, the motor is already pretty far over, so we can tell that this belt has really been worn out, and I did end up just ordering a few of them off Amazon, but for now, I am just gonna try to tighten them a little bit more so that I can at least run the barrels until the new belts get here. As you can see, I also did kind of clean out some of that rubber stuff that came off. It's not perfect, but it will work just fine. I also did scratch off some of the rubber left over on the oil shaft bearings from the Tumbler barrels. Again, not perfect, but I'm not really looking for perfection here. But what I'm going to use is this little tool here, and I'm just going to do it by hand. I'm going to loosen these up here. Probably can't do this with one hand. Oh, yes I can. And then we'll push it forward more and kind of tighten up that belt as best as we can for right now. So let's go ahead and loosen these, push the motor over, and then tighten them back up. So as you can see, the bolts are moved all the way over here, and the belt is tighter. It's not perfect, but it will do until we can get some new belts in the mail. I'm also going to take this WD-40 and spray it just here, 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 and here, just to keep the oil bearing shafts well lubricated. We don't want to do a whole lot. It kind of can be difficult with the WD-40 to be super precise, but we'll just spray it and then wipe off any excess. We'll spray on there. And this side. And here as well. Oh, and here. Okay, there we go. And we'll kind of give them a little spin. Spin them around a bit. Kind of get that lubricated in there. I'm gonna take a tissue here and wipe out the excess. Okay, so I wiped that out and we are good to go. I'm just gonna get everything put back on and we'll get the barrels back on the Tumbler until we get some new belts in. All right, we have it all put back together. Let's plug it in and put on our barrels. Okay, so you can see our wheel is spinning, and we'll put one. Ooh, look at that, it's already so much faster. And two. So as you can see now, they're running a lot quicker. It's not skipping, and they're doing pretty good. So I think we'll be good until I get the new belt. It'll last a little bit longer. All right, we'll let these guys keep tumbling their little hearts out. Okay, it has been a couple of days, and I received my Tumbler belts here. I did just order these from Amazon, and I made sure to get the ones for my Tumbler. So whenever you need to replace your belts, just make sure that you're looking for the ones for your correct Tumbler. So let's go ahead and re-get this open, and we will replace the Tumbler belt, which will help a lot for our tumbling. So we have the lid off. I'm gonna go ahead and loosen these bolts here so that we can get the belt off. Okay, so we have the old one off. It is a little bit dirty, and we will get the new one put back on. Also, just thought it was interesting to kind of compare the difference between the old one and the new one. You can see that this one has been stretched out a bit more than the new one. It is a lot more kind of springy and worn down. So you can see the other one's kind of thicker. This one is a little bit more tight, and it's, you know, brand new, shiny. So we'll go ahead and get this put back on, get everything tightened back up, and then we will have a working Tumbler again. I'm going to take the back cover off here, and that will kind of help us get it on a little bit better so then it's not getting stuck on this bottom little metal plate here. So now we will try to get this the rest of the way on here. All right, removing that cover made it far easier to slide on. So you kind of have to tuck it in between that little nook there and then over along this side to get the belt back on. So now I'm just going to tighten the bolts back up on here until this is relatively tight. Of course, not over tightening it because we don't want it to break. Then we'll put our pieces all back together and have a working Tumbler. Okay, and there we have it. We have our working Tumbler again with a new belt. I'm gonna go ahead and throw this one away, wash my hands, and put the rocks back on the Tumbler. I hope that this video helped, and hopefully you learned some tips on how to take care of your own rock tumbler. And would you look at that, running like a well-oiled machine. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you liked this video, and if you did, make sure you give it a big old thumbs up. If you're new here, consider subscribing to this channel. I make new videos like this every single week, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!